Hi everybody. I figure it's rootin' tootin' fruitin' shootin' time. Oh, hi Wiley. Hi puppy. I was just doing a wander through picking up stuff and I'm like, hey, aren't you an apple tree? Yep, I have an apple. There's no other apples in the tree. Yeah, so funny. So I was just walking through my little orchard here. It's just a little orchard. There's some apple trees. And some of them aren't doing so well this year. This is geez, I gotta say this has to be an off season. I don't know how this totally works with apple trees, on, off, up, down. But some of them are doing all right. You can see a bunch of good looking fruit. But what happens obviously is some of them don't make it. And they drop and rot. And I haven't cut the grass yet, but this was part of the cleanup, is to pick up after the apple trees before I run them over. Because it attracts animals and bees, and like not good bees, I mean the jerks with wings that just sting you over and over, yellow jackets and other wasps and hornets and things. Of course I've got some big pear trees, really big. I never get the top fruit. That's not low-hanging fruit. Big pear trees. So obviously they drop some fruit too. So here's my idea, is to shoot the low dropped fruit. Not the low hanging fruit, the dropped fruit. Because it's not ripe. Holy crap, actually, is it ever not ripe? They're very gross at this point, super sour and hard, and it's not what you would think. This is a good yield of some delicious pears. I can't remember this is a Bartlett pear tree, I think. In case you were wondering, these are really good pears. When I drive around on the lawnmower, I grab one and eat one every time I turn. These are Anjou pears, I think, something. But these are huge pear trees. I think this might be another Bartlett. Yeah, Bartlett. I don't know. I'm not a pear guy. Not an apple guy either. But they're different looking. These don't have the red that these do. I think this is the only crabapple tree on the property. Righty. Now these drop all the time. I don't eat them. I don't like crab apples. But I guess as far as crab apples go, they're kind of good looking, I guess. But they drop like crazy, and I run them over all the time, and I don't know if that's great for the blade. Like you would think fruit, but really, really hard, palm-sized and larger, baseball-sized fruit, I don't think is good for the mechanics of a lawnmower. Hi, Bubby. He's a Bullweiler, if that's your question. American Bulldog and Rottweiler. Brindle. He's dark brown with caramel stripes. He's an awesome dog. He is as cuddly as he looks. He's a big teddy bear. Those two breeds of dogs, which are not dangerous by the way, either of them, make a beautiful hybrid breed. So he's considered a hybrid of two purebreds. Gorgeous, gorgeous pup. And then that brings us around to the range, I guess, my little, where it goes on for many miles with no civilization that way, although 2 kilometers that way there is a county road that it would have to cross. Have I ever missed that bad? But I only shoot small calibers here anyway, so whether that's consequential or not of this video, I have yet to find out. But this is just, air rifle BB guns, 22s, and shotguns, and just 22 plinking stuff. I have a masonry brick wall, which these are really thick and doubled into the back. I've got it pretty thick. This is the third attempt at this wall, and you can see I've interlocked a few layers. So they stop everything I missed so far. No problem. They don't chip usually unless I hit a fracture point already, in case that's consequential to this video. That's the Barbie splatter when I didn't have the rest of it built yet. I think that's about it. I've already picked up some crab apples just for some smaller targets, and this is just some of the stuff that's fallen on the ground. Some of it's rotten, some of it, you know, none of it's ripe. I'm just gonna shoot them. They're not good to eat or jar or anything. I might set them up against here. Let's see. Okay, so here's the basic setup. I've got a 2x4 on some logs, and I'm gonna put the fruit down there, and that'll give us an opportunity to line some up. But at first I'm just gonna shoot one at a time and try to get some high-speed footage. You can see a couple hoverflies on there already. So they attract the wildlife. There's a hoverfly that just landed on my phone too. They attract wildlife, so that's why I picked them up, so that we don't get them all over the place. I'll make this place a mess and I can clean this up later. So anyway, that's the setup. Let's get to it. I also forgot to show you that I'm just going to be using the Crabapple Little Badger. It has a little red dot on it for funsies, but I'm just going to be using that just because of the single shot and the fact that I have to put the gun down and run up and stop the camera every shot. So I'm just going to be using the Federal. This is 1260 feet per second, I believe, and 36 grain. There we go. Batch number. So that's I've just relocated them into here, but that's what these are. All right, let's get to it. Alright, this is probably going to be the last shot. I don't want to move my setup right now, but there's 6 pieces of fruit all lined up, and we'll see if we can capture it in slow-mo. All right, I think that is successful. Oh, I got a little crud on there. It's covered. I got to clean the phone. This was all done on my Samsung 9 Plus. Great phone. It's got 960 frames per second, so I can use something like Adobe Premiere Pro or the like to also slow that down a little bit more, and some optic effects to make it all nice and smooth and stuff. But it does a great job on its own. Usually when I do these videos and I do slow-mo, it's straight off the camera, and that's what you get. So here's a little bit more of the setup, just to help you understand. The phone was elastic band to the board because it shakes it off when I shot. The first couple times the phone actually fell over. So you can appreciate that last shot to come up and hit all the fruit was only a couple of inches away from my phone. Just to come up enough to try to get all that fruit all in line. Just to appreciate how close it is to shooting a $1,200 phone. Just to get some nice slow-mo action. Hopefully, because I haven't even seen what this kind of looks like yet. I just did shot after shot after shot after shot. So we'll see what that looks like. And I was still back here. You can see my footprints consistently, basically back here, crouched down. I was centimeters or maybe an inch away from the phone just to get everything into the shot. Even from about 8 or 9 meters, that's about 8 meters, I think, from that point. So just to get an appreciation. Anyway, that's a lot of work to do this all on your own, just to let you know, for those who have camera crews that help them out. This is kind of fun. I still love doing this. I do this just to get some video editing footage. I really like video editing. So I hope you enjoyed. Bye for now. Oh, hi, Wiley. Oh, hi, Wiley. Oh, hi, Wiley.